told your friend you're not okay? And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch.
Hi everyone, my name is Kathy.
And I'm Koi.
And I am Every Woman. Welcome back, guys. We hope you have been well. I want to ask you a question. If you are a girl, do you have a male friend who's completely platonic and that has lasted over time? If you are a guy, because we have a lot of guys watching the show,
Yes.
do you have a female friend who is actually just that, a friend? Let me say something just as a disclaimer. We have people who don't believe in that, and we have people who believe in that. We want to talk about it.
Yes.
We want to see. We want to talk about our experiences, and we want to know out there what have been your experiences.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, what I want to take away from this is
Yeah.
that, one, what are the main differences of having
Mm-hmm.
male friendships
Mm-hmm.
as a woman?
Yeah.
Differences between that and having, your regular female friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it boils down also to just what stereotypically makes a woman
Okay.
and what stereotypically makes a man.
Okay.
Yeah. So the differences between, the women and the men, and therefore the relationships with the women
Yes.
and the relationships with the men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to be looking at the differences.
Yeah.
Yes. And just generally talking about our experiences.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's start with differences.
Yeah, let's start with. But even before we get into differences, what do you believe? Do you think men can have genuine friendships with, like, purely platonic friendships with females?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do too. I believe. I think so. However, I feel like it's difficult to get a genuine
Yes.
platonic friendship with a guy.
Yeah, it is.
What has been your experience?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I have had male friends who ended up not being comfortable with just being friends and wanting something more.
Yeah.
And sometimes on my part as well.
Yeah.
But I've been fortunate to have some male friends who ended up just being platonic over time, over years. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's get into the differences then. Yeah.
I think being a female species, talking about the male species, I think it's a breath of fresh air just how uncomplicated they are. They're not complicated. What you see is what you get most of the times. And especially when a guy is your friend, there's just something really special about it, I feel. In terms of, say, for example, when you're hanging out with your friend who is a guy, it's a male presence which can come off as protective, and I don't know. A lot of times, guys are easier to do some things than ladies. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Like what? What kind of stuff?
Say you're going to the market, for example, and you need to shop, So first of all, guys are very knowledgeable in a lot of things. A lot of times, they know who to get what from and whatever. So even logistically, it just becomes so easy,
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if your friend comes to help you move. Sometimes I feel a guy knows lots of tricks. Okay, even women do. But some things are more guy inclined than women.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think I agree with you. But for me, it's more of on the emotional connection.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to just connect with a guy because there are not many layers. However, I'm just saying this. Let me say this a little loosely because my experience is that not all, but most of the guys who are now my friends, at one point, they tried to actually, hit on me or, throw a line. And then when they confirm that there is no possibility, then now we move on to being friends.
Yes.
So it's like, I don't know. So I think it's like that anxiety of when you meet someone and you're thinking, a guy, and you're thinking, oh, this can be a good friend, you don't have feelings towards them. To me, it's always like, okay, when do we get to the point where he tries to hit on me and I say no, so that we can move on? I'm always just anxious about that. But after we are past that, then the friendship becomes very simple. Because if you are at the point where you're friends and you're just simple friends, the communication is so easy. It's not complicated. If they say yes, it's a yes. If they say no, it's a no. It's not complicated. It's very, very straightforward. And because of that, it's way, way easier. Yeah.
Well, my experience has been I have had the pleasure of having two friends who are men and who never hit on me ever.
Yes.
Maybe also because of the nature of how we started talking.
Yes.
And at the time we met, there were other people in our lives, and like one guy, we were always talking about his girlfriend and he was always just complaining about his girlfriend. And I know, I used to try and help him to, try to figure this out. And so because of that, I suppose, but I don't also think, I think he was just the kind of person who was okay with, that's not how we are. We spent a lot of time together. We have slept on the same bed together.
What? Hold on. No. What? For real?
Yes.
And nothing happened? No past nothing?
No. Not even a possibility. Not even, I kid you not. And we were drunk, by the way. We had come from a club and we had taken alcohol. And he came to my house because he needed to carry something from my house. And so we continued talking, as always, about his girlfriend. He was really taken with his girlfriend. And then at some point, I was like, you can't go home now. Like, it's what time, just sleep. And we just slept. And at the point he woke up, we had some breakfast and he left.
I really want to continue talking about this topic, but I'm stuck on, what if his girlfriend found out that you guys shared the same bed?
The interesting thing is that these things, I think, is in the gut. The girlfriend knew how much time we spent together. I don't think she knew about the bed, but she knew how much time we spent together and she wasn't worried. I think you can tell.
Okay.
In fact, she used to be worried when my girlfriends are around. She was worried about my girlfriends, but she wasn't worried about me. I think you can tell. I don't know. There was nothing. I don't know how I can explain to you. He was like my brother. He still is. I met him the other day and we hadn't met in many, many years. But the relationship is just the same. Just the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a breath of fresh air, to be honest. I really, really enjoy that. Because you can say anything. They can tell you stuff from a guy's perspective. And they're okay. They truly look out for you as their sister. But you're not related. So, you can talk about cliche, things you can't talk about.
Yeah.
And the other one, same thing. We met in a dating app. But we lived in different towns. So we chatted a lot because we couldn't meet physically. And we just chatted too much. We said too much about ourselves. And we just got to a point where we're like, okay, there's no going out here, is there? No, there's no going out. So we started talking about other people we've met on the dating app and stuff like that. And we ended up just becoming really good friends. Now, this one as well, I've been on the same bed with him. Again, a logistical issue.
Oh my God.
A logistical issue, and there's one bed, just sleep.
How are you finding yourself?
Twice.
Are you sure this is a coincidence?
Well, it's just like the way you can be with your friend. So you went somewhere. So I needed to go somewhere very early in the morning, like at 4 a.m. And I needed him to take me. And there's only one car between the two of us. And he lives so far away. I mean, not rocket science, just sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kid you not, there was no tension. I needed to do something on the computer. He said, I'm going to go shower. I'm just going to sleep. I'm sleepy. Okay, Sawa, just wake me up early because, we have to.
I'm yet to experience that. I'll tell you this, in my whole many 30-something years,
yes.
I'm yet to experience that.
Well, I have.
I haven't shared a bed with any of my platonic male friends. No, I haven't. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. It's me. I'm the problem.
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of people will identify with you.
Yeah.
I have a friend who says a dog cannot be friends with a chicken.
Yeah.
One will eat the other one day. And she was always my naysayer, my biggest naysayer. And she used to say, you tell yourself all the stories you want to tell yourself, tell us all the stories you want to tell yourself, but one day you two will end up together. No, we did not. In fact, he got married and I was there at his wedding. Very happily so. Because it doesn't affect anything. We still talk the same way we used to talk.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like, okay, it's possible to have, but as I said, from my experience, majority, but they're not all of them. Not all of them. Some of them, we are friends, but they've not tried, but majority have tried to make a pass, even jokingly. And sometimes I feel like they're doing it just to test you.
Yeah, to test the
And then
waters.
I'm like, what foolishness is this? Just shut it down.
Yeah.
And then now you can continue being friends. But I'll say this. One thing I enjoy about having male friends, like, the benefits of having like a male friend in comparison to the female friend is that if you have like a male friend, what I really love is that they give you tips on when you're dating. Like they give you from a guy's perspective.
Yes.
And they tell you realities and you're like, what, for real? It's like it snaps you out of naiveness.
Yes. Feminine naivety. Yeah.
Naivety.
Yeah.
So I really, really enjoy that out of male friendship. Because sometimes, with women, we romanticize a lot. So it's a dreamy. So even if maybe there's like a red flag,
you overlook it.
You might overlook
or you explain it.
Yeah.
It's because.
Yeah, and the dude is like, no, he was just doing that because of the.
Yeah, it's so black and white.
I'm like, what? So that's one thing I really enjoy
about male friendships.
Yes.
That's true. I think for me, what I like the most is just the uncomplicated nature of it.
Yes.
I really love that, and for me, for the most part, like the one friend I'm talking about, he's so helpful. He's so extremely. I mean, being a single parent, you can imagine. I mean, one time I was sick in hospital, and I wasn't even going to tell him, but he's just, hey, what's up? And I go, I'm actually in hospital. What? So who's picking the kids? Can you imagine someone who thinks quickly that fast? Where's the car? Do you have it? And he's coming quickly. So what's up? You're okay? Okay. Let me go pick the kids first. I'm coming back. And, that was just priceless.
Yeah.
It's really priceless. And you see, at that point, he's not a boyfriend. He's not, there's zero expectations. If I say just something as simple as I have a flat and the spare is also flat. And by the time I'm done with the conversation, he's outside, on his way to me. And
wow, yeah.
That's just
amazing.
Rock solid. And it's uncomplicated.
Yeah.
He can come there and find I was with a guy or I was going to see a guy.
Okay.
And it's not an issue.
Just but hold that thought.
Yeah.
Why would you call a friend? And by the way, I'm not blaming you.
Yeah.
To come and fix a flat tire while you have another guy.
No. That was an example. That was just an example. But I'm just saying, he could have been helping me. And when he comes, maybe to say drop the key or whatever, finds me on a date, and that's okay.
That's okay, but I'm also just saying, okay. Like if I am just taking a quick detour.
Yeah.
If you find yourself calling another guy to fix your tire and you have
when there's another, no.
The one in the
that was a bad example.
Oh, okay.
It's a bad example.
Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Let's just go back to
so I think the question here is how do they compare the female friendships and the male friendships? I think that's really the question. Like, are they in the same category?
No.
Do you put them in different categories?
Yes, I do.
So you can have both. It's just a question of which one, how this one works and how this other one works.
Yes, and I think also the male friendships comes with a lot more perks. Because, for example, especially like with my friends, my male friends, I have to tell them, no, this time I have to pay for the bill. Because sometimes they just want to pay because it's a dude.
It's a dude thing. Okay.
It's a dude thing. If you're hanging out with your friend or you're traveling, they will carry you. Your female friends won't carry for you your heavy luggage.
Yeah.
So I feel like, actually, to be honest, if we're being fair, the male friendships have a little bit more extra packs. Because they still, as much as they're your friend, they're still men. So they still feel like they need to
pay and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and just act like a guy, even if it's just for friendship. That's what I think. Yeah, they're totally different, to be very honest. Totally different. The one thing that I can pick up and say, in terms of like when you want to just bitch and gossip, you might not get that from a guy friend all the time. Not some will.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna.
That's a myth. Yeah, guys
some
gossip.
Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but others won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also don't get emotionally entangled in, I don't know how I can put it.
Yeah.
They're not, they don't, how can I put it? They won't carry a grudge, for example, most of the times.
Really?
Because you were late.
Oh, okay.
No, the guy wouldn't. You might, but the guy wouldn't. It's hard.
That's me. I know a few guys who carry grudges.
Really?
Yes.
Over small things like you were late or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're not as dramatic as the women.
No.
But they will.
Well.
They will.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think the other thing that I've just remembered that I really enjoy is especially when you're on a night out. If you're out with dude friends, I feel like I feel more safe. I don't have to really think about how I get home. It's a different dynamic being a woman out there going out and then knowing you're going out by yourself or like you're a bunch of female girls. You almost have to instinctively try to find out how you'll get home. But if you're in the company of male friends, you don't even think, you're not even worried because they'll get you home safe for sure. Yeah.
And so this one friend, we would sometimes like role play. I don't know how I can put it that way. So if I'm with a guy and I really I'm not interested, so he's going to act all boyfriendy, but he's so that you shake that one off.
Yeah.
But when you say, "Oh yeah, this is my friend," then he gets the message very quickly that you're interested in that person, and so he steps away and stays aside.
Yeah. By the way, now that you mentioned that, like it could be a good thing or a bad thing because what if you're in a setting like that, a social setting, and another guy sees you and is interested in you, but you are surrounded by guys, they won't come approach you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's bad because you also don't know that he's interested.
Yeah. And especially if they see guys, they won't come.
They won't come.
So
yeah. But also when you have a friend who's a guy and you want to date some other person or someone is hitting on you, I think they can see through those guys.
Yeah, they do.
Very quickly.
Yes.
And they can be able to tell you, by the way, that guy, it's not working or this.
Yeah.
I remember in my younger days, my cousins,
I
have these cousins that the relationship blossomed when we were older. And I was telling them about now a boyfriend I was seeing at the time. And they gave me very useful tips that till today I remember and still use, just this whole thing of if a guy is too insecure. I remember one thing they told me. If he's too insecure, he's the one who's doing something fishy. If he's so scared of something you're going to do, you need to find out what he's doing. You see, that's not something I would have ever come up with as a girl.
As a girl, yeah.
Yeah, but for them, you see, at that point, I'm like a little sister.
Yeah.
But I'm not a sister. You see, we can talk about tricky things that I might not be able to talk about with my brother.
Yeah.
But then, you see, they're my cousins, but at that point, they're like my friends.
Yes.
Yeah, and very useful tips, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't come easily to a girl.
Okay, so let me ask, when you're hanging out with like your male friends, you see like sometimes with your girlfriends, you don't even feel, if they're coming around, you don't even feel the need to like dress up. You can just hang out with pajamas.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, like with your male friends, you still feel the need to like at least look a bit decent put together, no?
I feel the need not to show too much skin, for example. Not necessarily look decent.
Yeah.
But not to show too much,
But is that you or is it? Because if they are friends, then you're not worried that they're attractive.
They're friends, but they're human. In the end, they're human. You don't want to cross that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was just at home hanging out in skimpy, whatever indoor thing, then I will put in a bit of effort. Not so much to look smart, but just more to look,
Cover modest.
Exactly. So I won't put on a short night dress, for example, but I'll put on my loose pajamas. And I suppose that's okay.
Yeah.
That should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me give you a very interesting twist.
Yes.
I had these two guys who were my friends, and we were mostly just drinking buddies. We used to meet in a bar, and I loved their stories. I was going through a very dark time in my life. And when I was in that club with them, I used to forget my problems completely. I never even used to remember who I am.
Yeah.
Just, for me, that release was very important. And so, we used to talk about their girlfriends. They were at a very bad stage where they're going through many girls and, it's a really dangerous life. And somehow I just got immersed into it and I convinced them that I can be the third boy, the trio. We used to give ourselves very fancy names. So I would sit, and then one of them would say, "Hey, that chick." So I'm like, "Okay, let me sit this way so I can tell you when to go. Go now."
So you are their wing girl. You are their wing
Yes,
girl.
yes. And it was too much fun. And for a minute there, they actually forgot that I'm a girl. They actually never used to remember that I'm a girl. Two things happened. One of these guys has a very good, like, a main girlfriend who even has his child. And one of those days he's saying, "Oh, God loves me. She almost caught me. And there was this girl." It's typical boy talk. And I found myself that day saying, "Surely, Mungu anakuona." I don't know how to say that
Yeah.
I reacted as a woman.
Yeah.
For me, it really came off badly, and they were shocked. They looked at me and wondered, "Why would you even say that?" And I said, "Anyway, sorry, sorry, back to where I'm supposed to be." That's one thing. Second thing that happened, I started dating. I met a guy that I liked.
Yeah.
So I start dating. I mean, it looks like we're going to date, he's interested, blah, blah, blah. So I go to tell them. Because we talk about their girls all the time.
How did they react? I'm curious.
So I tell them, "Listen, I met this guy. He's like this, he's like this, he's like that." And they seemed happy. He's ticking all the boxes. Go for it. The guy even came, shook hands with them. And then this guy, it didn't work out. Very quickly, it didn't work out. And so we are back to the trio. Sorry. We're back to the trio, talking. And then what happened between the two of them? One of them starts hitting on me now. So I'm sitting there thinking, what happened here?
They started seeing you that.
That's the thing.
Get into it. That's a very interesting dynamic. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I'm really curious to know what they said when you started, quote unquote, almost dating.
They were okay. They were happy for me. They were happy for this guy. They were friends with him.
Lies. I think that they were not happy. I think men are jealous. I could be wrong. By the guys who are watching this, please tell us. I think men are generally very possessive, very territorial.
Yeah.
You are their person.
Yeah.
But then they knew at that point, because of where they had placed you, they had no choice but to accept it and be happy, quote unquote. But then it was almost like fresh air when you came back and it didn't work out. And now they needed to do something quick.
Before someone else comes. So I was chatting with another friend.
That's what I think.
I was chatting with another friend, a guy still.
Yes.
And I was telling him that story, and he was saying, "Yeah, the rules of this game, if you're going to play this game, you're not supposed to date. You're just supposed to be there. You're just supposed to be there and talk about their girls."
Date.
Yes. The minute you date, you remind them that you're a girl.
Yes.
And not a boy.
Yes.
That was too skewed.
Yeah.
That friendship couldn't have worked.
Yeah.
It can't stay too long,
Yeah.
And so the minute, and I'm wondering, how do you hit on me? Like, what are you thinking? It's like hitting on your sister. Stop.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
It was awkward. It was so awkward. But on the flip side, this is the other thing that happened.
What happened?
So he's dating a girl.
Okay.
And that's not news. He's dating one girl. He's dating a girl or other at any point. And I'm okay. In fact, I'm helping him choose. And it's cool. And I'm kind to the girls. But then on this day, he's been hanging out with a girl. And I'm expecting him to come to my house to do something. I cannot remember what. But I'm expecting him to come by himself. And he comes with a girl. And I'm not amused.
Why?
I was confused as well. I'm like, okay, why am I even bothered? But I really was bothered when the girl came. And I was confused later because I'm asking myself, wait, I don't actually like this guy that way. And I'm not jealous. Why
did that bother you?
I feel like it bothered me because as much as we were not romantic, I liked his attention on me. It was not romantic, but I liked the relationship between the two of us. Just between the two of us.
Without an external.
Yeah, without other people. It wasn't romantic, but still, it was unique. It was ours. But anybody else watching that situation would have thought there are some hang-up feelings there.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any hang-up feelings.
Can I ask something? Do you think the way he related with you when you're just the two of you and the way he related with you when his girlfriend was around, it felt different?
No. Well, I don't think he saw me different, but it was different in the sense that now the attention is split. You see?
Okay.
Now he's you see, so I want him to say, for example, we were doing some diet together.
Yeah.
So I'm here talking about this diet, and we used to hang out and pick a recipe, and that's fun. But now he can't.
Yeah.
Because there's like a chick and she doesn't know, she's not part of this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But then, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
However, I feel like it's unique in a way. For example,
Yeah.
if it was like, since you're just a friend, it shouldn't be weird to have her as an addition. It should actually add on to it.
Really?
Yeah, because he's your friend, right? So that means you need to enjoy him as him and his other parts of his life, including this kachik.
You see, what he used to do, he used to pick up these very interesting girls. And I'm not saying interesting in a nice way.
Okay.
They're not
Special.
really, you're not going to be able to bond over anything.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm explaining that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that also on my part is crossing the line thing.
To judge?
To not even so much to judge, to be bothered by it.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
Is it a woman thing, or is it just me also not being able to handle a friendship of the other gender?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Me, I personally, I could be wrong, and maybe here I might be cancelled, but I think any guy who wants to be your friend has thought about you in another light at one point or another, period. That's what I truly believe. I'm not a dude, but that's what I truly believe. A guy who has who is interested in being your friend, if given the chance, like 0.001%, he'll take it.
Well,
to be more than friends, he'll take it for sure.
Yeah.
Me personally, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
It doesn't, stop them from being amazing friends. But there's always that 0. 0.
Well, those moments when it's not awkward and you're just friends and you can share, those are bliss, I tell you.
Yeah.
Those are really amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I really miss those two guys. But the way they were before, in fact, I really regretted. I'm like, had I known, I would have never brought up the story of dating some other person.
Yeah.
I really would have never brought it up.
Yeah.
We used to have too much fun. Too much fun talking about unrelated things,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it all came crashing down.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Okay. That's an interesting, wow.
Well, if I ever come across friends like those again, now I know.
What to do.
Yes, and what not to do.
So it looks like even with male friendships, there has to be some sort of boundaries. The boundaries.
Yes. Boundaries need to be observed.
From
But
what
they're there.
we have with the female friends, but they're there.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that's true.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
What if you have a male friend and you're dating? Like a male close friend and you're dating. How does that look like?
I think it looks just fine.
Really?
I mean, I wish it can work. I wish a guy can see it. I think sex is overrated, honestly.
No, but
I think romance is overrated. It's not always automatic. Just like even with girlfriends, they won't always be your best friends.
yeah.
We should be able to look at it that way. The guys won't always be your guy friends. And you might get in a way, you might get in the way of a great relationship just by seeing it so stereotypically.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing we just need to get out of.
No, but what if your spouse or partner is not okay with it?
That's a different ballgame altogether. That can't work.
Yeah.
No, that can't work.
Yeah. I think that it just depends on how, because if we open that path, that means that we should also be okay with them having a female friendship. And that's just another very interesting dynamic. Right? And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, last week we talked, I think the week before, we talked about having the journey of female friendships and the way some of them, we lose some friends along the way. Do you think the female-male friendships also go through the same journey?
Yeah.
Have you lost male friends?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
because of anything, because maybe the season was over or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but the good thing is that the ones that were true friends, like the two I'm talking about, it doesn't matter how much time passes. When we meet,
It's
we just pick up where we left off.
yeah.
We catch each other up on what has happened along the way.
Yeah.
And then we move on.
Yeah.
And it's great, really.
Yeah.
It's great. I think the power of I think relationships, if you ask me, I don't think relationships are made. There's a part where they're made, but I think there's a part where they happen. They just happen.
Okay.
I think there's a part where when you let a relationship just go with the flow, and if there's a connection, there is, and if there isn't, there isn't. Where there's a connection, it's the most beautiful thing under the sun, and it doesn't have to fit any stereotype.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to fit anything.
Yeah.
As long as it's a connection between the two of you, it's a connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've also lost a few male friends along the way, and most of them. Okay, let me actually think about it. One is still my friend ish. We don't talk as much, but I know it's because he got married. So I know I just accepted my position and moved on.
Yep.
And then the others, a few actually, maybe 3, who are no longer these ones are no longer in my life completely. And it's because the life, like what brought us together was actually just the lifestyle, the drinking and going and partying. And they were also just and I really enjoyed my time during that time because I knew for a fact, 1, I can go to the club, nobody will hit on me. And 2, I'll just go home safe, no strings attached until next Friday. We used to meet on Fridays. So obviously when I stopped that, like my lifestyle changed, then that kind of friendship, just the purpose ended. So I have dropped a few along the way. I miss some of them, but I also know that the only reason why, for example, like this one, the ones that I've talked about existed is because of the nightlife, and I'm no longer doing that. So it's almost impossible to get them back. But just accepting the seasonality of friendships, even if they're male friends. Yeah. All right. Interesting topic. And I think this week we've been able, I think this is the close of talking about friends. I hope you've really enjoyed, and if you still have anything to let us know about friendships, whether they are male friendships, female friendships, please do let us know in the comment section, or you can also write us an email. Our email is in the description box. And share with us. Let us continue this conversation there. We've really, really enjoyed analyzing friendships, right? Very, very.
Some have been hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's been hard.
Yes, it has. But I think that's just the beauty of life. It's in the complexities. And I think we talked about this and we said because of the complexities and because it's a part of our life, it's part of our journey, we have to talk about how to be able to engage in friendships in a healthy manner. Yeah?
Yep.
Right. I think that's it from us for this week. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.